Are you ready to pass your exam and land your dream human resources job today? This practice test is rigorously aligned with the official curriculum and features full explanations to help you pass on your very first try. Before we dive in, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and grab the full course in the description below. In this first section, we will focus on what it means to lead in HR, covering business strategy, effective communication, and workplace ethics. As an HR professional, your job is to build a strong team by hiring the right people, offering honest feedback, and resolving conflicts with complete fairness. You must always protect the company culture, respect diversity, and safeguard private information, because a truly great leader builds trust through both honesty and support. We will also explore employment laws and how to use data to make smarter business decisions. When answering these questions, I want you to think like a boss, carefully read every clue in the text, and always align your choices with official company policies. Take a deep breath, trust your training, and let us start the first section of your big practice exam. 1. What is the first thing you should do when an employee reports harassment at the office? You must start a private investigation right away to find out what happened. Listening to the worker and acting fast shows that you care about their safety and follow the law. 2. How does a human resources manager help the company meet its long-term business goals? They hire the right people and train them to do the work that the business needs. By matching worker skills with company plans, the whole team can work together to achieve big success. 3. If two workers are yelling at each other, how should the manager solve the problem? The manager must separate them, let them calm down, and talk to each person alone. Talking in private helps people share their true feelings without getting angry in front of the whole team. 4. What is the best way to keep your top performers from quitting their jobs and leaving? You should pay them well, give them praise, and offer them chances to grow and learn. Workers stay when they feel valued, get fair pay, and see a clear path for their future career. 5. Why is it good to have people from many different backgrounds working in the exact same office? Different people bring fresh ideas, and they can solve hard problems in new and creative ways. A mixed team understands different customers better, which helps the company sell more products and make more money. 6. When you fire an employee, why must you keep all the paperwork safe and locked away? The files prove that you followed the rules and did not fire them for an unfair reason. Keeping good records protects the company from legal trouble if the angry worker tries to sue you later. 7. What is the main purpose of giving a new worker a proper orientation on their first day? It helps them feel welcome, teaches them the basic rules, and gets them ready to start working. A good start makes the worker feel happy, and they will learn their new tasks much faster. 8. If a manager asks you to break a company rule, what is the right thing to do? You must say no to the manager and report the bad request to the highest boss. HR must follow strict ethical rules, protect the company from risk, and always do the right thing honestly. 9. How do you know if a training program actually helped the workers do their jobs much better? You look at their work output before the training and compare it to their work output after. Measuring the final results shows if the class was worth the time and if it improved their skills. 10. What does it mean when we say a company has a very strong and positive work culture? It means workers trust each other, they feel safe, and they all work toward the same goals. A healthy culture makes people want to come to work, and it keeps them happy for a lifetime. 11. Why should a boss give feedback to a worker all year, instead of just once a year? Regular feedback helps the worker fix small mistakes quickly, before they turn into very big problems. Talking often builds trust, and it makes the final yearly review much less scary for the nervous worker. 12. If a staff member needs special software due to bad eyesight, what must the company do? The company must buy the software, so the worker can do their job safely and well. The law says you must provide reasonable tools to help disabled workers succeed at their daily tasks. 13. When planning a budget for the next year, what is the biggest cost for the HR department? The biggest cost is usually the money spent on worker salaries and their health insurance benefits. Taking care of human beings costs a lot of money, but they are the most valuable business asset. 14. What should you do if an employee complains that their direct boss is treating him very unfairly? You must listen to the worker, write down their story, and investigate the boss in a fair way. HR has to be a safe place for workers to speak up, without fear of getting punished later. 15. Why do we write detailed job descriptions before we post a new opening on the internet? It tells people exactly what the job needs, so only the right people will apply for it. Clear job details save everyone time, and help the manager pick the best person for the empty role. 16. How can an HR leader help an employee who is feeling very sad and stressed at home? You can offer them time off, and give them the phone number for the company help program. Giving mental support keeps the worker healthy, and shows that the business cares about their personal life outside. 17. If a new law passes about worker safety, what is the first step HR needs to take? You must read the new law carefully, and update the company rulebook to match it perfectly. Staying up to date with legal changes protects the business from huge fines, and keeps everyone safe inside. 18. What is the best method to find out why so many workers are quitting their current jobs? You should conduct exit interviews, and ask the leaving workers to tell you the honest truth. People who are leaving have nothing to lose, so they will often tell you the real hidden problems. 19. Why is it a good idea to promote workers from inside the company, instead of hiring strangers? Current workers already know the business, and promoting them makes everyone feel happy about their career path. Internal hiring saves training time, boosts team morale, and rewards people for their hard work and total loyalty. Welcome back to Section 2 of our Human Resources course. Finding the right people can be hard, but we will make it very easy for you. To grow a business, you must plan ahead, figure out your future needs, and fill those empty spots with smart, hard-working people. The very first step is writing a clear job description telling people exactly what they will do every single day. Clear writing helps you avoid bad resumes and brings you the perfect match for the open role. Once you know what you need, you can look for talent on the internet, at college job fairs, or by asking your current team for referrals. After picking the best resumes, a quick phone call can help you decide who to invite into the office. During the interview, remember to ask fair legal questions about how they fix tough problems. It is also smart to give them a short test to verify their real skills, because you should never hire someone just because you like them. When you finally find the perfect person, call them with the happy news, and offer them a fair salary with great benefits. Before they officially start, run a background check, and call their old bosses, to keep your current team safe. Getting new staff is a long journey, but it helps the whole business win. If you enjoyed this lesson, please make sure to subscribe, and get the full course, in the description below. 20. What is the main goal of workforce planning, for a growing business right now? The goal is to make sure you have enough workers, to finish all tasks. Planning stops you from being short on staff, when the company gets very busy. 21. Why should you update job descriptions, before you post them on the company website? Jobs change over time, and you need to tell people the true current duties. An old description gives false hopes, and brings people with the wrong exact skills. 22. What is an internal job posting, and how does it help your current workers? It lets current workers apply for new roles, before you look outside the business. Giving your team a chance to grow, keeps them happy and loyal to you. 23. When reading a new resume, what is the most important thing you should check? You should check if the past work skills match what the open job needs. A person must have the right experience, so they can succeed in their role. 24. Why do managers use behavioral questions during a face-to-face job interview session? These questions show how the person acted before, to predict their future actions. If they solved hard problems before, they will probably solve hard problems for you. 25. Which question is completely illegal to ask when you interview a young female worker? You cannot ask if she is married, or if she plans to have babies. Personal family plans have nothing to do with how well she does her work. 26. What is an aptitude test, and why do we give it to new applicants? It tests their natural ability to learn new things and solve totally new problems. Some jobs require fast learning, and this test shows who has a quick mind. 27. How does an employee referral program help the company save a lot of money? Your own workers find good friends, which cuts down the high cost of advertising. It is much cheaper to pay a worker a bonus than a recruiting agency. 28. What should a boss do if a job candidate fails the drug screening test? The boss must cancel the job offer and safely store the private test results. A failed drug test breaks company rules, and it can cause huge safety issues. 29. Why is it important to check references before you officially hire a new person? Calling past managers helps you confirm that the person was honest on their resume. Past bosses can tell you the honest truth about how the person behaves normally. 30. What is a hiring panel, and why do companies use them for big jobs? A panel is a group of managers who ask questions and judge the applicant. More people asking questions means less bias and a much fairer choice for everyone. 31. How do you handle a job applicant who has a gap in their work? You should politely ask them to explain the gap during the normal phone call. People take time off for many normal reasons, like sickness or raising their kids. 32. What happens if a company ignores a bad background check and hires the person? The company could get sued in court if that person harms a fellow worker. This is called negligent hiring, and it is a very big risk for businesses. 33. Why should an offer letter include the starting pay and the expected work hours? It stops any confusion, so the worker knows exactly what they will get paid. Clear written terms protect both the company and the happy new worker from fights. 34. What is the main benefit of using a recruiting agency to fill open roles? The agency does the hard work of searching and saves the manager valuable time. Agencies have huge lists of ready workers, which speeds up the entire hiring process. 35. Why is a phone screen the very first step in the whole interview process? It saves a lot of time by quickly removing people who do not fit. You only want to invite the very best candidates to the main office building. 36. What is succession planning, and how does it help a business stay very strong? It prepares your junior workers to take over when the senior bosses retire away. Having a backup boss ready means the business will not panic when people leave. 37. How can offering flexible work hours help you hire much better job candidates quickly? Many great workers have busy family lives, and they really need flexible daily schedules. When you offer good work balance, you attract the top talent in the market. 38. What is the final step you must take when an applicant rejects your offer? You should ask them why they said no, and document it in their file. Knowing why they refused helps you fix the pay or improve future job offers. Welcome back to Section 3. I am BA, and today we will learn how to train your new workers. Learning does not stop after the first day, because people must grow to stay happy at work. As their guide, your first step is a needs assessment to find out exactly where your team is falling behind. By talking to managers or reading performance reviews, you can find those weak spots and plan a fun practical class that uses real work examples to teach the missing steps. There are many ways to teach, from watching videos to hands-on practice, but pairing a new worker with an experienced mentor often builds the strongest bonds. Do not rush this learning process. Let them take their time and always answer their confusing questions. After the training is finished, you must test their memory and observe if they are working faster and safer. Remember, performance reviews tie right into this, serving as a calm, supportive chat about their future career dreams and how they can improve. Workers want to feel appreciated, and showing them a clear career path keeps them loyal for years. Give them challenging tasks, celebrate their big victories, and start teaching your best people how to become great managers. Leadership training takes time, but teaching your own team to solve problems and stay calm means you will not have to hire expensive strangers. Let us move to the questions now, so you can pass this big exam. Before we do, please make sure to subscribe and get the full course in the description below. 39. What is a needs assessment, and why is it used in the modern training process? It is a test to find out what skills the workers are missing right now. Before you build a class, you must clearly know what weak spots need fixing soon. 40. Why is on-the-job training so popular, especially for busy new factory line workers? Workers learn by doing actual tasks, which builds muscle memory and speeds up their learning. Practicing with real tools is the fastest way to master a tough physical work job. 41. How does a strong mentoring program help a brand new employee succeed at their job? An older worker shares their wisdom and helps the new person feel very safe inside. Having a trusted friend to answer silly questions lowers stress and stops early bad mistakes. 42. What is the best way to see if a new training class actually worked well? You should watch the workers do their jobs and see if they make fewer mistakes. If their daily work gets much better, it means the class was worth the time. 43. Why do adult learners need to know the reason behind a brand new training rule? Adults only pay attention when they know how the lesson fixes their own work problems. If a lesson seems useless for their job, they will ignore the teacher and sleep. 44. What should a good manager do during a yearly performance review meeting with a worker? The manager must talk about past wins and set clear goals for the next year. A performance review should be a helpful chat to guide the worker toward a better future. 45. How often should a smart boss give honest feedback to their very busy team members? A boss should give honest feedback all year, not just once at the big review. Constant feedback fixes bad habits quickly before they turn into huge expensive company safety problems. 46. What is succession planning, and why is it important in a very large business office? It is the smart plan to train junior staff to replace older bosses who retire. Training backup leaders keeps the business running smoothly, even when top managers leave the company. 47. Why should you cross-train your best workers to do multiple different jobs at work? If one person gets very sick, another trained worker can step in and save the day. Having flexible staff keeps the factory moving and stops work from piling up on desks. 48. What is the halo effect error during a busy manager performance review scoring session? It is when a manager grades a worker too high, just because they are friendly. A boss must judge the actual work results and ignore personal feelings to be completely fair. 49. How can a clear career pathing plan help keep your best workers from quitting early? Showing them how to get a big promotion gives them a solid reason to stay. People will not leave for a brand new job if they see a bright future here. 50. What is electronic remote learning, and why is it so good for a remote team? It is computer training, which lets people learn from their homes at their own speed. Online classes save huge travel money and allow workers to study when they are free. 51. Why is it a very bad idea to rush a new worker through safety training? Rushing makes them forget important rules, which can lead to very dangerous physical accidents later. Taking your time ensures they remember the steps and keeps every single person very safe. 52. How do you safely handle a worker who completely refuses to learn a new software? You must calmly ask them why they are scared and explain how it helps them. Listening to their deep fears builds trust and helps you guide them past mental blocks. 53. What is the main exact purpose of a formal employee development plan for a worker? It is a written map that tracks their learning goals and future career step plans. A formal plan keeps both the boss and the worker focused on long-term success. 54. Why should a busy boss document all bad behavior before a yearly performance review meeting? Having written proof helps the boss explain exactly why the worker got a low score. Without clear paper proof, the angry worker might say the boss is just being unfair. 55. What usually happens if the new training materials are way too hard for workers to read? The workers will get confused, learn absolutely nothing, and make more mistakes on the job. You must use simple language, so everyone can understand the rules without feeling completely lost. 56. How does a strong positive learning culture help a business make a lot more money? Workers who love learning will invent new ideas, which helps the company sell more items. Smart, happy teams work faster and better, giving the company a massive edge over rivals. 57. What is the final best step after a worker completes a very long training course? You should ask them for honest feedback to see if the class was actually helpful. Getting their honest thoughts helps you improve the course for the next group of students. Welcome back to Section 4, where we will dive into money and employee benefits. Paying your workers fairly is the main reason they will stay with your company, but finding that perfect middle ground is essential. You must always research what competitors pay for the exact same role. If you pay too little, your top talent will leave, but if you pay too much, the business might run out of cash. Striking this careful balance is exactly what human resources is meant to do. However, fair compensation is not just about cash, it is about the total rewards package. Workers need solid health insurance to protect their families, and paid vacation time to recover from workplace stress. You can also offer retirement savings plans or fair performance bonuses to keep everyone highly motivated. By combining a steady salary with a great benefits package, you show your team that you truly care, which keeps the whole office running smoothly. Finally, you must strictly follow the law, which means ensuring equal pay for both men and women, and carefully tracking overtime hours. Managing a payroll system can be tricky, but acting as a fair leader will protect your company's budget and keep you out of legal trouble. Now, take a deep breath. And let us start the next practice test. Also, please do not forget to subscribe, and you can get the full course in the description below. 58. What is the main purpose of doing a market pay survey for your business? It helps you see what other companies pay for the exact same job role. Paying market rates keeps your workers happy and stops them from leaving for rivals. 59. Why is it a very bad idea to pay men more than women workers? It breaks the strict equal pay law, and it is a very unfair practice. The business will face huge legal fines, and the public will hate the company. 60. How does offering a good health insurance plan help a business hire top talent? Great workers want to protect their families from huge and scary hospital medical bills. When a company offers safety and care, the best applicants will accept the job. 61. What happens if a manager refuses to pay an hourly worker for overtime hours? The manager is breaking the strict labor law, and the worker can easily sue. You must pay extra money for overtime to respect their hard work and time. 62. What is a total reward statement, and why do we give it to workers? It shows the total cash value of their base salary and all health benefits. It helps them see their true worth, so they feel much better about staying. 63. How can a performance bonus plan make a lazy team work much harder immediately? Giving extra cash for great work makes people want to reach those high goals. Money is a huge push for people, and it rewards their extra daily effort. 64. Why must human resources check pay records every single year without any big delay? Checking records helps you find accidental pay gaps and fix them before court cases. Regular checks keep the system very fair and protect the company from legal danger. 65. What is paid time off, and why is it so good for worker health? It lets them rest at home with pay, so they can heal their bodies. Rest stops them from getting too tired, and keeps their minds sharp at work. 66. If a worker gets hurt on the job, what type of insurance pays them? The workers' compensation insurance will pay them, while they heal from their bad injuries. This legal safety net protects the worker and pays their huge scary medical bills. 67. Why do some companies match the retirement savings of their very loyal older workers? Matching free money helps workers save faster and makes them feel safe about age. It is a great reward tool that keeps people loyal for many long years. 68. What should you do if an applicant asks for a salary that is huge? You must politely say no to them and offer your standard fair market rate. Overpaying one new person causes team fights and breaks your tight yearly budget rules. 69. How does a flexible work schedule act like a massive benefit for tired parents? It lets them pick up their kids without losing any of their normal pay. Time is just as good as cash, and it helps them balance home life. 70. What does the term base pay actually mean in the human resources business world? It is the normal fixed cash amount a person earns for their daily duties. This does not include any extra bonuses or any fancy health insurance plan perks. 71. Why is it very dangerous to classify a normal employee as an independent contractor? It is tax fraud to lie about it, and the government will greatly fine you. Workers miss out on normal health benefits, and it breaks strict federal labor laws. 72. How can a manager use non-cash rewards to make the busy team happy? Giving them a free team lunch or a nice award plaque shows massive respect. Small happy gifts cost very little money, but they build huge trust and smiles. 73. If a company has a very tight budget, how can they reward good workers? They can offer extra vacation days or let the person work from their home. Free time costs the business nothing right now, but it feels great to workers. 74. What is the biggest hidden cost when you hire a brand new staff member? The biggest cost is their health insurance and the taxes you must legally pay. Benefits cost a lot of business cash, which goes far beyond their basic salary. 75. Why should a business always explain the pay rules during the first welcome orientation? Clear pay rules stop angry money fights and help the worker trust the boss. When people know how paychecks actually work, they feel safe and focus on tasks. 76. What is the very best way to communicate a brand new health insurance plan? You should hold a big team meeting and answer all their small confused questions. Talking face to face removes deep fear and helps them pick the right coverage. Welcome back to Section 5, where we focus on keeping your team happy and handling important office rules. A happy worker does great work, but ignoring bad behavior can quickly ruin your team's spirit. When workers break the rules, you must step up, use a step-by-step warning plan, and keep detailed records. If a worker refuses to change, you may sadly have to fire them, which protects the rest of the team and prevents potential lawsuits. Next, we will discuss labor unions, which are groups of workers joining together to negotiate fair contracts and better pay. You must work patiently with union leaders, building high trust, so you can avoid costly company strikes. Furthermore, creating a safe, bully-free workplace is absolutely vital, and you should use a detailed employee handbook to clearly communicate all of your expectations. Ultimately, good communication is your best secret tool, so hold regular meetings and truly listen to your team's ideas and fears. Treating everyone with respect will make you a fair and effective boss, and now, it is time to practice your skills in our next test section. Before we begin, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and check out the link in the description below to get the full course. 77. What is the very first step when an employee breaks a minor company rule once? You should give them a verbal warning and explain how to fix the bad mistake. A verbal warning fixes small bad habits without making the worker feel scared or angry. 78. Why is it important to write down every single time a worker breaks a rule? Written notes prove you have a good reason if you must fire the bad worker. Paper records protect the business from lawsuits and show that you acted in a fair way. 79. What does the term progressive discipline mean in the Human Resources Office rule book system? It is a step-by-step plan to slowly increase punishments for repeated bad behavior. This gives the worker many fair chances to change their bad actions and improve themselves. 80. If a worker steals money from the boss, what should the manager do right away? The manager must fire the worker immediately, because stealing is a very massive safety rule break. You cannot give a warning for stealing, because it ruins all trust in the office. 81. What is the main purpose of an employee handbook for a brand new hired worker? It tells them all the company rules and explains the benefits they will get soon. A good rule book stops confusion early, so workers know exactly what to do daily. 82. Why should workers sign a paper saying that they read the whole employee company handbook? Their signature proves they know the rules, if they ever try to break them later. It stops them from telling the boss that no one ever taught them the rules. 83. What is a labor union, and how does it help a large group of workers? It is a group of united workers who demand better pay and very safe conditions. Joining together gives them more negotiating power to fight against a very bad, greedy boss. 84. If your workers want to form a union, what is the company legally allowed to do? The company can share facts about unions, but they cannot threaten the workers with firing. Threatening workers is a huge legal crime, and the government will punish the boss badly. 85. What is collective bargaining when you deal with a very large and angry labor union? It is the formal meeting process where the boss and union agree on work rules. Both sides must talk in good faith to reach a fair deal for the team. 86. Why do angry union workers go on strike and stop doing their daily job tasks? They stop working to force the boss to give them better pay or health benefits. A big strike costs the company money, which makes the boss want to make peace. 87. How can a smart manager stop workers from wanting to join a labor union group? The manager must treat everyone very fairly and pay them a great living wage salary. Happy workers do not need a union because they already trust their current good boss. 88. What should you do if an employee complains that their coworker is being a bully? You must listen to the sad worker and investigate the bully to find the truth. HR has a duty to stop bullies and keep the workplace completely safe for everyone. 89. Why is open door policy a great tool for employee relations in a big office? It lets workers talk to the boss directly without setting up a huge formal meeting. Easy access to the boss builds trust and stops small problems from growing very large. 90. What is an exit interview, and why is it important for human resources to do? It is a final talk with someone quitting to learn why they hate the job. Their honest feedback helps you fix problems, so your remaining workers do not quit too. 91. If a manager yells at their staff daily, what will happen to the team morale? The team morale will drop very low, and the best workers will look for jobs. People hate working for an angry boss, and they will leave to find peace elsewhere. 92. How can you make a remote worker feel like they are part of the team? You can include them in video calls and ask for their ideas on big projects. Talking to them often stops intense loneliness and keeps them connected to the office goals. 93. What is an employee assistance program, and how does it help your sick, sad workers? It is a free secret service that helps workers with mental health and money problems. Helping them fix their private life stress allows them to focus better at their job. 94. Why should a company always celebrate worker birthdays or their big special work anniversary days? Small parties make people feel very special and build a warm, friendly office team culture. Celebrating small moments shows you care deeply, and it costs the company very little money. 95. What is the best way to handle a worker who smells very bad at work? You must pull them into a private room and tell them kindly about the smell. Having a private and respectful chat stops the other workers from making fun of them. Welcome back to the final part, where we focus on keeping the workplace safe and protecting your team from danger. Your job is to spot hidden hazards, shut down broken machinery, and plan ahead for major emergencies, like fires or floods. You must run regular safety drills, so everyone knows exactly how to escape, without ever feeling scared or trapped. Beyond physical safety, you must also lock down computer files and teach your team to use strong passwords. Protecting private worker details from hackers is tough, but it stops thieves from ruining the business. As your company grows globally, you will manage diverse teams and often send workers to live and work in new countries. A great boss respects local laws, understands different customs, and helps relocated families feel right at home. Managing diversity means treating everyone fairly, regardless of their background, so your business can invent amazing new products with fresh ideas. When major changes happen, like a massive company buyout, workers can feel very scared about losing their jobs. You must tell them the honest truth, hold meetings to calm their nerves, and smoothly blend the different company cultures together. To manage all of this, smart HR software will track worker data, count sick days automatically, and show you exactly who is ready for a big promotion. Technology makes your tasks much faster, so you can spend more time being the heart, the teacher, and the protector of your company. I am very proud of your hard work, so take a deep breath, and trust what you have learned to ace this final test. If you found this helpful, please make sure to subscribe, and you can get the complete course in the description below, to finish your amazing preparation journey. 96. What is the very first thing you must do when a worker gets hurt badly? You must get them medical help immediately and secure the dangerous area from other people. Protecting human life is your main duty before you fill out any safety report papers. 97. Why do we write an emergency action plan for large office buildings and factory floors? It tells everyone exactly how to escape safely if a huge fire breaks out suddenly. Planning ahead stops wild panic and ensures every single person gets out alive and safe. 98. What is the main goal of diversity training for a very large company manager team? The goal is to stop unfair bias and teach bosses to respect all different people. Fair bosses build very strong teams where everyone feels completely safe to share new ideas. 99. When sending a worker to another country, why do we teach them local social customs? Learning local customs stops them from being rude accidentally and helps them make new friends. If they respect the foreign culture, they will succeed much faster in their new office. 100. How can a business keep private computer files safe from very bad online internet hackers? The business must use strong secret passwords and train workers to spot fake email links. Human error causes most data leaks, so regular computer safety training is a huge must. 101. What does it mean when a company has a completely global human resources business strategy? It means the company creates consistent fair rules for all workers across the whole world. Global rules keep the business united, while still respecting the laws of each different nation. 102. If a huge hurricane is coming to the city, what should the HR boss do? The boss must tell everyone to stay home and close the office for total safety. You must never risk a worker life just to finish a normal daily business task. 103. Why is it important to have an inclusive culture where everyone feels perfectly at home? Inclusive teams are much happier, and they rarely quit their jobs to find new work. When people feel accepted for who they are, they work much harder for the boss. 104. What is a repatriation plan for a worker returning from a long foreign country trip? It is a plan to welcome them back and give them a great new job. Workers feel lost when they return home, so you must support their stressful transition back. 105. How does a human resources computer system save a massive amount of office work time? It tracks vacation days and paychecks automatically, so you do not do boring math tasks. Using smart software gives you more free time to talk and solve real human problems. 106. Why should managers try to hire local workers when opening an office in another country? Local workers already know the language and the laws, which saves huge training time costs. Hiring local people builds instant trust with the community and helps the business sell items. 107. What should you do if an employee complains that their desk chair hurts their back? You must buy them a better medical chair to protect their spine from serious harm. Providing safe physical tools is the law, and it stops expensive workers' compensation medical claims.